everyone. Hi, my name is Olga. I'm originally from Russia, and I need to start every set like that because I know that they're listening. I was born in Russia in a very big year, the year 1992. And 1992 was a huge year in Russian history because Russia elected its first ever president. And that started a very long history of Russian people electing presidents all over the world. My name is Olga. It's the most common name in Russia. It is, of course, Old Slavic for, I wish you were a boy. But as you can tell by my accent, I didn't spend a lot of time in Russia. I moved to the US when I was a teenager in the year 2010. And first of all, I was an incredibly conservative Russian teenager with really outdated views. Like, to give you an example of how conservative I was, I thought her pleasure condoms broke on purpose because the only pleasure a woman can know is the joy of motherhood. And also, we need to point out that 2010 was just a different time, right? In 2010, we didn't care about racism or sexism, right? We weren't woke yet. Like, in 2010, we thought diversity was just to have Eddie Murphy play more people. And so I moved to the US to study in university, and I studied computer science. And especially when I flirt with guys, they get very excited about traditionally masculine things about me, right? So when I say I study computer science, they're like, computer science. Or I say I do comedy, and they're like, comedy. So imagine how excited they get when they find out about my dick. That's a joke about how men create gender norms and then reward women for subverting them. Also, all men are gay. Usually gets a standing ovation, but... Honestly, if another guy tells me how cool it is that I like computers, burgers, and beer, I'll tell him he has unresolved feelings for his friend Greg. We've all been there, ladies. But honestly, I don't think I chose computer science for noble reasons. I picked the department with the shortest line for the women's bathroom, right? And there was 3 girls in the whole course, and we exchanged this cartoon. And it started as a joke, but then really resonated with us. And it was a picture of a boy getting a problem wrong in class, and everybody pointing at him and saying, "You're stupid." And then a picture of a girl getting a problem wrong in class, and everybody pointing at her and saying, "Women are stupid." And that's how we felt every single time we entered a room. We weren't representing ourselves as people, we were representing women in general, half of the world's population. And if I want little girls to know anything today, is that the reason women can't do computer science isn't because they're stupid. The reason women can't do computer science is because their boobs keep getting on the keyboard! I don't know what my cause is anymore. But it is really interesting how for no reason whatsoever, everybody just sees the computer science as a man's field, even though there's plenty of women in computer science, right? Ursula Burns, Grace Hopper, Lara Croft. Ada Lovelace, daughter of Lord Byron, wrote the first ever algorithm, while her father wrote about his feelings, right? Many, many women in computer science. And also, computer science isn't that difficult, right? I used to think in 2010 that I was, special and I had, a special lady brain plus. But in reality, it's not that difficult. Okay, well, first of all, I wasn't special because I wasn't particularly good at it, right? My graduation project was an app called Knock, spelled K-N-O-K, because what's more millennial than illiteracy? And K-N-O-K was an app you downloaded to your phone to tell your flatmates that you were fucking and didn't want them to come home. I did a 45-minute presentation, at which point my professor raised his hand and said, "Why can't you just text them?" So maybe I'm not the next Zuckerberg. And then, also, another thing about computer science, it's not really any different from learning a new language, right? It's the logic of learning a new language. And just like in learning any new language, you learn terms for things you couldn't articulate before, right? Words for things you didn't know had words for. In German, they have the word for Schadenfreude. In Russian, we don't have a word for empathy. I'm not kidding. I was 17 years old when I found out about the concept of empathy. Can you imagine what that feels like for a person? I couldn't. And entirely too pleased with myself for that joke. I'll leave you with this. There's basically, I don't know if this is good enough to leave you with, but let's see. So one of the things that basically when you write a program in computer science you do is you think through every possible hypothetical scenario of things that can happen, right? Like what if? And because we're people, we can't think through every possible scenario. And that's when exceptions happen, right? When a computer program runs into a scenario it didn't expect, and so it crashes, and it acts completely unpredictably. And being a woman in computer science, that's how I felt. I felt like the field wasn't ready for me, and they didn't know what to do with me, and it was a computer program that crashed, and just it acted chaotically. And sometimes I couldn't predict how people would treat me, right? Sometimes they would reward me for being so brave to own a laptop, right? Other times they'll punish me for getting period blood all over the processing equipment. And I just really hope that women don't have to live in this double standard anymore. Do you guys not know that thing about pineapple juice? When a guy drinks a lot of pineapple juice? Have you heard about this? When a guy drinks a lot of pineapple juice, it's meant to... Have we heard about this? Yeah. If a guy drinks a lot of pineapple juice, it's meant to make the taste... Well, it's bullshit, because I tried it with so many guys, and their piss doesn't taste any different. Good night! Thank you very much.